Hey, this is Sonny James, Artist Relations here for Serato in Los Angeles. Now that you've downloaded Serato DJ Lite, I'm going to show you the basics of how to mix with it. Beat matching is a method of mixing two tracks together by matching the tempo of one track with another track. For starters, you'll want to choose the first track wisely. This will dictate the tempo of the next tracks that you select. If I choose a house track at 124 BPM, I want to follow up with another track in a similar range. So let's look through our music library in Serato DJ Lite and use the Serato Demo Tracks crate. These come preloaded so you can get mixing right away. Here we can identify tracks in a similar range of tempo. I try to stay within a range of about plus or minus 5 BPM of what's already playing. But depending on how creative you're feeling and the effect that you're trying to achieve, you can really choose anything you want. Let's load the first track on the left deck and begin playing it by pressing the start button. We'll find a track in a similar range to the tempo of this track and load it to the right deck. Now, let's drop our second track in time with the first track. You may need to adjust the new track to get it playing either slower or faster. Use the tempo slider on the hardware to increase or decrease the tempo. You can use your cue and listen on the headphones as well as use the on-screen BPM next to the track title to be sure you're at the right tempo. Use the cue button or cue points on the hardware to bring it back and drop it again as you see fit. If you drop your track in a little late or early, you can nudge it forward or backwards by using the side of the platter. It's best to only nudge the track you're bringing in and not disturb the one that's already playing. Bring the track in by either using the crossfader or the line faders on the hardware. Once you have the beats matched, you can bring the second track into the mix. When you're mixing, pay special attention to when you bring the songs in. It's good to avoid cutting off a verse or bringing it in at the wrong place in a build-up. These mistakes can turn a crowd against you pretty quickly. Alternatively, you can use the sync function to match your beats. This feature makes it quick and easy to match the tempos and is as simple as pressing sync on the track you're planning to bring into the mix. With your first track playing, let's press sync on the other track. Now that the tempos are matched, I can just focus on when to start the track. You may still have to nudge the track a little bit, forward or backwards, depending on when you press start. If you press sync again, it will snap the transients of the second track to get it aligned with the first. The sync function will match the BPMs of both tracks so you don't have to move the tempo slider at all. But if you do, the tempo slider will now affect both tracks instead of just the one that you're moving. To disable the tempo slider, press Shift and then you can move the tempo slider freely without affecting the tempo of either track. If you want to get out of sync, you can simply press Shift and the sync button on the controller. However, be sure to turn sync off on the deck that doesn't have sound playing, as when you disable sync, the tempo will instantly jump back to the original tempo or wherever the tempo slider is set to. If you practice these techniques, you'll be on your way to playing seamless sets for other people soon enough. Once you have this fully in the bag, you can begin thinking about scratching, using cue points, loops, and much more, which we'll cover in other videos. Have fun playing with music.